Hello, today we're going to be taking a look at PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. We're here looking at their free cash flow right now. As you can see, currently for the free cash flow, from the quarter from June 30, 2023 was 690. And if you want to look at that from the last one in 2022, you can see it was down a lot more in the same. It was down a little bit from the last one too, from March's. So that's something to keep in consideration, and that's why we're going to be using their free cash flow since 2013, since there looks like there might be a little bit of instability going forward. But the good thing is, it's PayPal. They did get a new CEO this year, and he's really good, and he's had success in the past. So hopefully, he can turn things around at PayPal, especially with all the competition that they have going forward. Let's just take a look. Look at 2013 1602, and this is in millions, by the way, so this is billions. And then 2022 we had 5 billion, but as you can see here, unless we're gonna get um, you know these numbers right here year over year, when we come to the next quarters coming up, we don't know what it's going to be looking like, since as we already showed, it's a little bit down year over year. So yeah, as we can see, we go into the revenue. As you look into the revenue, it's an 8% increase year over year, 8% increase the year over year there. So as you can see, 8% is pretty much where their growing rate is year over year. The last quarter was 7%. Come down here, you can see how they've grown in revenue from 2013. We only had 6 billion in revenue, and 2022 we had 27 billion in revenue. If we look at 6/30/2022, 6806, and June 30th, 2023, 7287, so it's growing year over year. The same we saw from March. So PayPal's continuing to do good, but they still have a bad reaction from the market. Um, if we do come over here to their net income, this is something that we want to look at, because look, the quarter coming up, the decline was 401%. But the last 12 trailing months, we do have a 98% increase to 4 billion. Um, and the net income, their net income continues to increase. 2013, 955 million, and then as we come to 2022, we have 2 billion. But as you can see, over the last 12 months, it's been 4 billion and 98% increase. So their net income's doing really good. Their shares outstanding continue to decline, which means they're buying back shares. They're currently at 1114. If you come down here and look at 2013, they were at 1224. So it's steadily been going down slowly, very small increases, but it's still decreasing nonetheless. Assets and liabilities. If you look at their total assets, it's only at 74 billion. It does continue to decline currently over the last 12 months. If you see down here in 2013, they only had 19 billion in assets. In 2022, they have 78 billion. Look at their total liabilities. It's continuing to decline recently. It's at 54 billion. In 2013, it was 11 billion. Look at their long-term debt. It has increased the last 2 years, and it's at 10 billion 549 million. We got cash on hand. It's increasing, and it's at over the last quarter, but at 9 billion currently on hand. So they almost could pay off their long-term debt if they wanted to, when push comes to shove. But we're just going to come down here, and we're going to do a discounted cash flow based upon that cash flow I was showing you for PayPal earnings. If you come over here, we started from 2013, we went to 2022, we have an 8% growth rate. Their average free cash flow right here. We're going to use a 10% discount rate, since there's so much uncertainty with PayPal, a 2% perpetuity, and shares outstanding. And then we're going to come to a discounted cash flow price, no discount, of $58.35. And then a 20% discount rate, it'd be at $46.68. This is very similar to their current trading price. So right now, you could argue that PayPal is fairly valued by the market, or you could argue that they're undervalued by the market, because if you're not going to give yourself as high as a discount rate, you wanted to go 8.5%. As you can see here, even using a 20% discount rate, it'd bring it to that $58.72. But without the discount rate, we're at $73.39, and with the discounted cash flow 10%, $66.05. But once again, I'm going to go to a 10% discount rate, because that's where I feel healthy. So maybe I would start a small position at $58, and then maybe look to add as it decreases. to about $55, maybe add a little bit more. But I'd really like to start adding below that 52, so maybe a $50 mark. That's what I would look at. PayPal is a pretty good company going forward. I think they're set up to do really well if their CEO is able to change things, and the market might be really undervaluing them. Because if you come over here and you come to prices, let's just take a look for the 1 year, right? The 52-week high is 92.62, which is 60% above the current share price. Okay, but their all-time high in 2021 was $308.53. Can you imagine if you come over here and PayPal is able to switch their growth from 8% to like an 18, 20%? So let's just say 15%, right? If they're able to switch that to 15% and really put on that growth machine again, look at that. That's right around, that's crazy. That is right, this was a 10% growth rate. This is right around the 52-week high right now. So you can make 60% of your money now if they're gonna able to turn that. That's crazy. So PayPal, if things really do turn around, they're in a great position. Kind of like how Facebook really dropped and then they went flying up there once they switched things around when things were looking murky. So those are the kind of things that PayPal investors are kind of hoping that will happen right now. I'm not optimistic. I just want to stay with what their current numbers are. I don't want to try to project what they're going to do because that's too risky. I just want to keep it the way it is and look how things are right now. If you do come over here to Seeking Alpha, as you can see, their forward revenue is 8.48%. Their revenue growth year over year, they're saying is 8.21. We already used an 8% because we like to give ourselves margin of safety, and we don't know what things are going to look like. Seeking Alpha is a pretty great thing if you want to buy it. You can buy it here. I just don't like to buy things like this. There's free stuff out there that we can use, and I really don't uh, think that I need to pay for a service like this currently. Maybe if things change for me in the future, then I'll look into it. But this is my assessment right now of PayPal. I'd be looking to buy it at basically $50.